All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name's Curtis, and today we are going to be talking about a new fragrance discovery for me. This isn't a new release. This fragrance was released, I think, back in 2018 from a very highly respected house, which is Chanel. So today I'll be giving you my thoughts and opinions on the fragrance 1957 by Chanel. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts and opinions on this fragrance, then let's go. All right guys, so here is my bottle of 1957. Yeah, so this was a recent pickup for me. I picked this one up maybe a couple weeks ago. And, you know, I think for me, you know, I haven't necessarily dipped into the Chanel Exclusive line. And, you know, I was watching a few videos and became quite intrigued. And actually, I wasn't watching videos on 1957, but I was watching some videos on like Coromandel or Boy, those types of fragrances. And so I decided to visit the Chanel boutique at Isetan in Shinjuku. Shinjuku is located in Tokyo. So I had gone down there and yeah, I started smelling all of the exclusive line from Chanel, and I was really drawn to 1957, and for a couple reasons. One, we are in the summertime here in Japan. Thankfully, it's winding down, but we're kind of in the peak of summer right now, but I can definitely see the end of the road. Fall is coming soon, so thank goodness for that. And so, you know, I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I was drawn to this fragrance, because of the vibe that this fragrance gave me. And the others from the exclusive line are quite heavy. You know, I feel like they fit better. Not all of them, but many of them fit better in the fall and winter. And so, yeah, I started smelling 1957 and I was like, wow, this just smells so appealing and good right now. But basically, yeah, if you aren't familiar with the exclusive line, it's a very chic and elegant style bottle here. This is the 75 ml. I think they also offer like a 200 ml option, which is way more than I need. And you know, like I've discussed this on the channel before, whenever I can get the smaller bottle, 75 ml is still pretty big, but whenever I can get the smaller bottle, I always go for the smaller bottle. But yeah, it's a very chic, simple design. The cap, it's on there very snug, and this is a magnetic cap. It is on there extremely snug. I mean, I can shake this and it's not gonna go anywhere. I wouldn't suggest picking it up by the cap though. Always pick it up by the bottle. But yeah, very, very nice design here. But yeah, what this fragrance is about essentially, like this is a very clean, musky, powdery, aldehydic bomb. And the aldehydes, you know, Chanel, I think they're very well known in a way for their use of aldehydes in fragrance, and they're definitely using it here. But I struggle with aldehydes from time to time, because sometimes aldehydes can come off extremely sharp and almost piercing to the nose. So aldehydes are very hit and miss for me, but I feel like Chanel does aldehydes to perfection. They're just very smooth in here. And I think the combination of aldehydes and powdery notes work extremely well. Like basically, you know, what you get in here is you get a heavy blast of aldehydes, some powdery notes, which is, you know, coming from some iris that's in here. And then you also have a little touch of honey, and that helps to bring this fragrance a bit of sweetness. Now, this fragrance is not, you know, I say that honey in here, but with a touch of honey, that's it. You'll catch a bit of that, like in the dry down, you'll, you know, catch like slight whiffs, like, huh, this smells kind of like, it brings like a slight sweetness. You may not be able to identify that it's honey, but it brings a slight sweetness to the fragrance. You also have some citruses in here, some bergamot, which you can slightly pick up at the very beginning, opening of this fragrance. But when this fragrance dries down, it is all about the musks. The musks are beautifully done in here. this fragrance just comes off extremely clean and fresh. It's just like, it's almost like you've kind of, lathered up with a very expensive soap and you've jumped out of the shower. And these types of fragrances, like if you're someone who's never been to Japan, these are the types of fragrances, this fragrance profile, this type, the fresh, clean, kind of aldehydic, almost like laundry detergent, kind of very luxury soap, I guess. These types of fragrance styles work extremely well here in Japan. And just to give you a quick story, and look, I want to say this too, like, I don't wear fragrance for compliments. I wear them for myself. I enjoy scent. I like to be taken on a journey with my fragrances. Now, this fragrance is fairly linear for the most part. I mean, it's not one of those fragrances that will take you on a journey. This is just one of those fragrances that just smell good. Fresh, clean, simple, very versatile. You can wear this for any occasion, dressed up, a formal occasion, casual. It is just a fragrance you can grab and go. It almost is like a dumb reach fragrance that is extremely elegant, classy, and it's an elegant, classy fragrance that can work anytime, anywhere. So yeah, that's one other reason why I love it. It's just the versatility of this is just phenomenal. But anyways, kind of like what I was saying, like I don't wear fragrances for compliments. I wear them for myself, but I have had this fragrance for a few weeks and I have given it a few wearings. And what I will say is that when I was wearing this, and this has never, ever happened to me, ever, in my life with fragrances. I might get a compliment every now and then. Compliments are rare. They don't often come. But when they do, I'm like, oh, okay. They're always nice. But I don't search for compliments, and but with this fragrance, I got 2 compliments in one day. 2 compliments one day. That's never happened in my entire life. And the compliments were just like, wow, you smell really good. Just like, oh wow, I like your smell. What are you wearing? And they asked about it. So yeah, one of the compliments came from a coworker, of course, and the other one came from when I went to Starbucks. One of the staff there said, "Oh wow, you smell really nice. What are you wearing?" Now, granted, with that said, they all know that I wear perfume, so maybe it was kind of a forced compliment. But they don't compliment me all the time, and compliments are still rare, but they do know that I wear perfume, so maybe, I don't know. But they seem to really like this one. I think because of its simplicity, its cleanliness, and it just comes off very light and airy. And I think, like I said before, like those types of fragrance profiles work extremely well here in Japan. If you don't know anything about the Japanese perfume culture, Japanese believe in very natural smells. They don't have much of a body odor, although I would argue that as in the summertime, there are definitely some funk floating around. I mean, they don't usually wear deodorant either. And so, granted, I mean, maybe if you're comparing to other people from other countries, maybe they don't smell as bad, but they definitely smell. So, they definitely have an odor. There's no doubt about that. So they're not odorless, but they do believe in natural smells. So, those very deep, rich, heavy kind of fragrances, very kind of beast mode fragrances, typically do not work well here in Japan. So whenever you can come across like a more natural, kind of clean, fresh, light, airy fragrance, those are the fragrances that you should try to wear if you're coming here to Japan, just out of respect for the people and the culture. That's not to say that you can't wear heavier scents here. You definitely can, and I definitely do. I have plenty of them in my collection, but if you're really trying to respect the culture when you're coming here, you should take that into consideration, right? And that's not just Japan, that's anywhere that you're going to be visiting and going. You know, really kind of maybe do your research before you go to that particular country, find out a little bit more about their culture and what they enjoy, what they like, and try to cater to that as much as possible. You know, you don't want to build a wall between yourself. You want to tear down a wall, you know, between yourself and, you know, the people of that country. So, you know, you want to make a connection, build a bridge, don't burn it, you know, type of deal. But yeah, this fragrance, you know, just really kind of blew me away, just in the sense of like, wow, this is aldehydes and musk done to perfection, in my opinion. Just like I said before, just very classy and elegant. Man, just extremely well. And you can see why, you know, a lot of people talk about the way Chanel does, like, you know, just their, you know, timeless elegance in terms of the way that they work their aldehydes into their fragrance. And it is true. It is very, very true. And yeah, one thing that I'll also say too, you know, the lady at the boutique, the Chanel boutique in Shinjuku at Isetan, was extremely helpful and very patient with me as I sat in there for a very long time debating which fragrance I should go with. And ultimately, again, 1957 wasn't a fragrance that I was initially, you know, going there to, that I was interested in. You know, I hadn't even thought about this fragrance. But once I had gone through the lineup and smelled, I was like, ooh, this is one that's kind of speaking to me. You know, simple, classy, elegant, refined. That's what this one is. But yeah, you know, if you are looking for like a soapy type of aldehydic, fresh, clean, light, and airy fragrance, definitely check this one out. I can touch on performance slightly. So performance with this one, longevity, I'm getting about 6 to 7 hours, maybe a little bit longer if I spray it on clothes. Moderate sillage, moderate projection. But again, that's all you need for this type of fragrance, and that's all I want. You know, I'm not looking for like a room filler or like to announce my presence before I get there. You know, again, timeless kind of classy elegance. That's what you have here. Perfection. And I'll say this too, you know, when I was smelling some of those other Chanel exclusives, there are a few others that I'm really interested in. And actually the staff there gave me a sample of Coromandel, which I'm very, very excited to try. So I'll do a first impression review of Coromandel. I did smell that from a strip at the store, but I've never tried that one on skin. So I'll do a first impression of me trying that one on skin. But that one smelled amazing. And there was another one that I was pretty interested in that I'm kind of forgetting the name at the moment. But yeah, whenever I do the first impression video with the Coromandel, I'll try to drop the name of that other fragrance that I'm interested in. But yeah, 1957, a beautiful, beautiful aldehydic kind of powdery, soapy bomb. This is a beautiful one. Like I said, worked perfectly for any occasion. But you know, if you're coming here during the hotter months in Japan, definitely look into this fragrance. It will work a treat. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And let me know down in the comments section, have you tried any of the fragrances from Chanel's exclusive line? Let me know down in the comments below what you enjoy. Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.